Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Gray Hair Garage. We're in location B, and I'm just doing a little job here with some axles, and I thought I'd just show you how the CV joints go back together. It's a constant velocity joint, and they look complicated, but they're really not. So I just thought I'd shoot that, and then I'll show you stabbing them back in. The reason I had to work on the axles was I had a flat tire a week ago, and when I was pulling the wheels off, I noticed I had a couple torn CV boots. So that's the perfect opportunity to take them apart, clean them, and install new boots. I'm waiting on the part, as I usually do with any Porsche part. It's usually a week out, so it takes time. Anyways, here's the CV joint, and I'll just show you quickly how to throw it together. And then when I get the parts in, we'll grease them up, put the boots on, and get them back in the car. It's not an overly complicated job, but it is a messy job, and I hate doing this one. I've done it before, and was not looking forward to it. Anyways, hope you enjoy it. We'll see you in a bit. Here's a constant velocity joint, and I just wanted to show you how it comes apart. Just simply rotate it and remove the steel balls one at a time. Now, of course, this one's totally clean, and it normally would be all nice and messy for you. And you just remove the pieces. And that's it. Alright guys, what we have here is a disassembled CV joint, which is also known as a constant velocity joint. The parts for it are the housing, the cage, the inner race, and the circlip, and the steel balls. And what I'm going to do is show you how it goes together, and then we'll continue on with the axle assembly. And what a CV does is it allows you to transfer the power from your transaxle to the hub with the drive shaft at an angle. So this is basically how it goes together. I'm just going to kind of show you. It can be a little difficult at times, but you just got to persevere. So you got to just drop the parts all in, and they all do just kind of drop in. And then the trickiest part is just to get all the balls in. So you got to kind of line them up and just kind of work them in the dirt. They have a little groove here, grooves there. Each place has the slot for it, and you just got to work them in. Sometimes it can be a little bit of a pain. Trying to make sure I get it so you guys can see. And almost there. Of course, sometimes when it's the last one, that is the one that's going to give you a problem. But I think we got this one licked. Oh, I spoke too soon. There we go. So one thing, when you take them apart, just kind of remember how the orientation is on them. Because especially when you're reusing the old ones, it's got a wear pattern, and you kind of want to just make sure it kind of stays that way. And I know these ones, for example, had the groove here and the groove there, so you match them. But that's pretty much how a CV goes together, and it also goes apart the same way. So the next step we're going to do is when my parts show up, we'll get them together, we'll grease them and put the boots on, and I'll show you that, and then we'll stab them in the car. There you go. Hey, good morning, and welcome back. It's the next day, and I did get the parts in last night, so we're going to go ahead and throw these axles together. We're going to work on the left-hand axle first. It's the one that's completely apart. And what we're going to do is we're going to do the boots first. The kit comes with this clamp, which has a screw type of lock. And the one that you want to get is that, where you crimp it. This does a far better job of locking the boot on there. This thing, you'll get it and you'll think you're fine. You'll take it for your test drive and it'll be popped right off. So I don't even mess with those. And these things work great. I had these boots on for quite a while and the crimps never let go. But what you want to do is you want to get a couple extra, because if you just mess it up, you don't want to set yourself back and now you got to wait another week to get the job done. What you got to do is get the hub. That's the first thing you got to do. And big hole, small hole, pain in the butt. This is such a pain. Wow, I think that's the easiest that's ever gone for me. Sweet. Maybe I remembered from doing it last time. Okay, so we've got the boot stretched over the lip, and now we got to put the hose clamp on. So it's a special tool that's designed just solely for that job. And it just clamps it. And if you can see, let's see how I compressed it? That's all there is to it. And that should be good. And if it isn't, I got more, but hopefully we don't have to go there. So that's 4 boots installed on the flange. And what we're going to do next is put those on the inboard side in the center of the axle, and then we can put our CVs on and then a little bit, and it'll go on from there. There we go, there's that one. Shove them in the middle. So now we have the boots on the center. So now we can put our CVs on. So I marked on my drive shaft the inboard and outboard. Now I know my joints have stayed in the specific area, so that's how I know that. The actual markings on the CVs wore away with the cleaning. They're the same part number, so it really doesn't matter. I just like keeping things original where they were sitting. Okay. Now let's do it messy. There's no great way of doing this. kind of work it in there. Futile. And I'll put more grease in there. I just want to get it held together and then started. Perfect. Screwdriver just to make sure that it's in there, right? Of course I have. There it is. Yep, and it's moving in the groove just nicely. That's what holds the shaft from getting on there. Beautiful. And now, as you can see, that will give you every angle you need. Okay. Then I'm just going to shove this boot up there a little bit, just to kind of hold it in place. I'll put more grease in there in a few minutes. And there we go. That is pretty much one hell of a messy job. So I need to go get some more rags and clean this crap up. All right, well, it's 5 days later and the parts actually showed up a little early. So we're going to go ahead and stab these axles back in. And hopefully it goes smooth. Okay, so we're going to do the inboard side first. Get the axle in, not tightened up, but held, and then I can mess with that outboard side because it's fighting me a little bit. So what I'm going to try and do is just sync up get a couple on the inboard side, then I'll go to the outboard side, try and get a couple there. That way I'm not fighting holding this and trying to get that part aligned. Once you get two on, then I can use the hub to spin it and get them on nice and tight. Always make sure your Allen is fully seated in the bolt. Okay, that one looks like it's all seated. So now we're going to go to the left side and basically do the same thing. So our axles are now in, stabbed and snug. Now what we'll do is I'm going to clean them up, get the excess grease off, and then we're going to torque them to spec.